A year ago, a young man with special needs was assaulted and later died of his injuries. The person who hit him has yet to be charged. Let's dive in and learn a little bit more about this case. Hi everyone, Alex with Empowering Survivors, and I just learned about this story. It's been a little over a year that this young man, Josh Taylor, the family hosted a silent memorial for him. And let's dive in. We're going to learn a little bit more about this case, and what we can do to see if we can get justice for Josh. Before I do that, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to join the Empowering Survivors family, where we're a voice for missing persons, survivors, and those who don't have a voice. Now, here's an article from an NPR affiliate, Justice for Josh Taylor. Family leads silent march on anniversary of son's death. This was published on August 29th, which is last week. And it says here, the family of Josh Taylor leads a silent march down North Main Street in Wilkes-Barre, past Vesuvios, where Taylor worked and was assaulted. This is family, friends, and the signs say justice for Josh, and Josh Taylor's life matters. A Lucerne County family led a march to demand justice on the one-year anniversary of their son's death. About 80 people rallied at the Lucerne County Courthouse on Saturday, carrying signs on a silent walk to Wilkes-Barre's public square. Some drivers who passed the group honked car horns in solidarity when they read the messages. Justice for Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor's life matters. Taylor, 32, died on August 26, 2022, hours after he was punched in the stomach at Vesuvios Pizzeria and Sports Bar in downtown Wilkes-Barre. Taylor's family said he worked at the restaurant but was visiting on a night off when he was struck by a coworker. No charges have been filed in his death, caused by a blunt abdominal trauma, according to the county coroner. Taylor's family says cameras at the establishment caught the assault on tape, and they want the responsible party held accountable. The state attorney general's office confirmed it's investigating the case. Taylor had many friends, as evidenced by the turnout on Saturday, but his sister, Jacqueline, says he was also bullied due to an intellectual disability. He had the purest heart. He was so accepting of everybody and was so loving. But also, people took advantage of him. He didn't always have social cues. So if people were laughing at him, he thought they were laughing with him. Taylor's immediate family spoke at Public Square alongside Nancy Ritchie of the PA Developmental Disabilities Council, Daryl Lewis of the NAACP Wilkes-Barre chapter, and Beth Gilbert, a member of Wilkes-Barre City Council. This is his family grieving, wearing little bracelets that say Justice for Josh Taylor. And they're in the march. The public square. People with disabilities are more than twice as likely to be victims of violence compared to those without them, said Ritchie of the PADDC, who has a disabled child. We need to stand up to bullies, racism, and ableism. We need to stand up for ourselves, and we need to stand up for Josh. Susan Taylor, Josh's mom, said she felt ignored by the Wilkes-Barre police detective who first took up the case. She felt a snap judgment was made about her son and later filed a complaint. The county DA referred the case to the state attorney general in January. The Wilkes-Barre Police Department said the Taylor family's complaint is an internal matter to determine if there are any policy or procedural violations, and separate from the state's criminal investigation into the assault. The internal complaint won't be finalized until after the AG's investigation, the chief said. And here they are. It says here, before the silent march, the family of Josh Taylor visits his current resting place until he can be buried in the St. Mary's Cemetery. Someone from the family visits daily, and Susan often brings items her son would appreciate. I mean, he died a year ago. The family is still grieving. Susan and Jack Taylor stand at the current resting place of their son, Josh. Sisters Jacqueline and Jessica said they missed their older brother's smile and the way he sang along to almost any song. Taylor's friends from Hanover Area High School shared stories about his festive attire and holidays, watching the Philadelphia Eagles and the WWE, and vacationing together in Ocean City, Maryland. Now we have to live like Josh and sing like Josh, said Donna Belusco, who called herself a second mom to Taylor. Sean Belusco, one of his best friends, said this year's trip to the beach wasn't the same without Taylor. Jason Bresnahan said Taylor was in his wedding less than 2 weeks before he died. He didn't deserve it. Susan Taylor said she had total confidence in the state and is thankful local authorities are no longer investigating. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions, like what happened to him. It sounds like there is at least evidence from cameras that he was assaulted, but why hasn't the person who hit him been charged at least with assault? There have been people who have been charged with murder for somebody dying when they were just defending themselves against an aggressor. In this case, not only did Josh die, but there was an actual assault. So why isn't the person being charged at least with assault, right? So that's one question that I have. Another thing, the huge issue is people with vulnerabilities. Typically I like to cover survivor stories or stories of women and teen girls. However, I also have a place in my heart for people with vulnerabilities, special needs, like in the case of Josh. And you saw that statistic that people with disabilities or special needs are twice as likely to have violence against them than those who don't. So that's an alarming statistic. This is, as a society, this is horrible. Why are people bullying, picking on people with special needs, with disabilities, right? Like was said in the article, maybe there were things like social cues that he didn't pick up on. So maybe he didn't know or realize he was being bullied or harassed. Maybe people with special needs are not going to report being abused or hurt. So maybe they don't stop it. Maybe they don't place boundaries because they just don't, again, social cues. They don't know what's right or wrong, or I'm not saying this is across the board, but maybe there's, boundaries are blurred a lot more. That could be possibly part of the issue. And then just the fact that people who are more vulnerable are just easier to pick on. So just like we shouldn't be hurting children and elderly, we shouldn't be hurting those with special needs or other vulnerable populations. So this is really, really concerning. I'm glad that this was highlighted to me today so that we can share more of Josh's story. I'll continue to see what's happening in this developing story. Hopefully the state has a case and can at least bring charges of assault, even if the person who hit him didn't intend for him to die. We don't know all the details regarding, after him being hit, what happened. Like, did he go to the hospital right away or what happened there? But hopefully there will be justice for Josh. And I'll just hold a moment of silence for him and his family who are grieving his loss, as well as the community. With that, I appreciate if you hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on this case. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I welcome you to join the Empowering Survivors community, where we are a voice for missing persons, other survivors, and those who don't have a voice. With that, stay safe, stay thriving, trust your intuition, and make sure to keep it empowering. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you.